today was crazy, right? My brother was over visiting, and we had fun. Not really. I don't know. We just woke up and drank coffee and waited for the kids to wake up. And then I was showing him about my day trading, because that's what I'm obsessed with right now. I know. It's pretty crazy how obsessed I am. But that's how you get good at stuff. You be obsessed with it, right? So, anyway, I definitely showed him that, and I lost money, and it was funny to me, kind of. But I really wanted to show him how it's possible, but I failed this morning. But then at like 7:45, I realized my 16-year-old wasn't awake yet, and he had to go to school. And he usually leaves at 7:40. And I was like, I gotta go wake him up. So I did. Yep. I went and woke him up, and then he was like, oh dang, when I told him that he was going to be late for school. That was a funny response. So I took him to school. Normally he rides his bike because we only live like half a mile away. But yep, so then I came home, and then we just hung out for a couple hours. And I haven't really been doing my best at being a mom lately, because I've been too obsessed about the whole trading thing. And yeah, something's gotta give. I need to change that. Yeah. My kids need me. Imagine that. My kids need a mother. And that's what I am. So that's what I should do. I should be a mother. But being fun sounds really fun too. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe one day it'll be more fun. But right now, it's pretty stressful. I actually have 6 kids. Yeah. 6 children. It's intense. The youngest is 2. And the oldest is 16. Yeah. Well, anyway, I needed to do their homeschool with them, except for the 16-year-old. He can go to public school and learn and be done in a couple years. But the rest of them, I'm supposed to homeschool them, right? Because that's what I'm supposed to do as a homeschool mom. And yeah, so they should do school. And right now it's difficult because we're at the end of our curriculum. So we finished most of it. And now we're kind of in between curriculums. And we need to buy another curriculum, but until we choose which one we're going to do, I decided that we'll just use Easy Peasy Online. And it's kind of interesting getting the hang of it, because we were pretty much fully involved with the Master Books one. But now we get to do Easy Peasy all-in-one homeschool. This is not sponsored. LOL. But it's been interesting trying to figure out how to do it, how to go through the new curriculum and be better about it. But it's difficult. Life is difficult figuring stuff out, right? We'll get there one day. We'll get stuff figured out. one day we will get it done and it will be good. But really, in one day, not really in one day, but someday, all of the kids will be out of the house and they'll be doing their own thing, and then they'll have to figure out stuff because they'll be adults. But right now, I can just be a mom, right? And then maybe eventually I can be a grandma. That'll be fun. Then I can spoil my grandchildren, because that's the best part about being a grandma, right? But also it'll be fun to see their little babies. I don't really want any more babies. I think 6 was enough. But I'll tell you, I didn't actually have the first one. The first one came from a different person. Anyway, that's my little story from that. But this afternoon, some other stuff happened. I sold a bike, and I sold it for $20 to a grandma because she wanted to ride bikes with her grandson, and she drove here from an hour away. And I was like, whoa, that's intense to drive that far for a bike, because that's just so far. I feel like there are other bikes, but maybe she just really liked that it was blue. Okay, well, yeah. I first had it listed for $40, but then she didn't. Wait, no, that's not how it goes. Okay, well, I first had it listed for $40, and then one person really wanted the bike for a client of hers, but then she flaked out on me 2 times, two occasions, and then I was like, I don't want to deal with her anymore. So then I messaged the other people to say that it was available, because it was on Facebook Marketplace. And well, that's what I did. I listed it, and then this grandma, she said she wanted it, and she came today, and it was great. It worked out perfectly. So now I'm done with selling the blue bike. It was a 1-speed, and I hated it because it didn't have any gears to shift, so it was really hard to go up hills, and I did not like that at all. Actually, it was my daughter's bike, because I didn't really ride bikes very much until now, because now we have cool bikes with gears. But then, after I sold that bike, I should have put my 2-year-old down for a nap, but I didn't. So she was tired. And then my brother left at some point. It was about like 3 o'clock or something. And then my husband's cousin, she had a volleyball game, because she's a 7th grade. It's kind of weird. His uncle's only 8 years older than him. So he has a cousin, and she's 12. So she was playing volleyball in our town, so we got to go watch her play volleyball. And then we were there for 2 hours, and it was very long. I wanted to go home. Don't tell her that I wanted to go home. And it was really sad, because they lost 5 matches and won 1 match. There was the A team and B team and C team. It was interesting and sad, but oh well, life goes on. It was kind of cold in the gym too. I didn't love that. I get cold easily. I like to be warm and snuggly in my bed. Like right now, I'm in my bed, in case you didn't catch on to that. Because you should be in your bed too, so that you can go to sleep, because it's bedtime. So, then after the game, then they came to our house, and we all hung out, and I fed them zucchini bread that I had made. But, oh man, there was some bad stuff that happened today. There were 2 things. Well, other than me not doing homeschool like I should have the whole day. The one thing that went bad was that at the game, my 11-year-old, she did something really naughty, like crazy naughty for her being 11. She decided that she was really hungry, and I told her, no, we can just wait till we get home. But you know what she did? She went out to the van, and I had a stash of money in my glove box, because my husband likes to have money in the glove box, right? Well, there was like $500 in the glove box. So she knew about it, because about a week ago I needed $20 out of it to go buy something. And so I asked her, hey, can you get me $20 out of the glove box, please? So she knew, and she saw all of it. And we had a little conversation, like a mini conversation. And I said, you're not going to steal that, are you? And she was like, no. So then today she did. The opportunity arose. She knew that there was a concession stand at the volleyball game, and she, the little stinker, she stole $20 out of the glove box and went and bought a sucker, like one of those sweet tart suckers. They're really good normally, but not now. I don't like them anymore. They're gross. But she did that, and then when I saw that she had it, and I was like, how much did that cost? And she said 50 cents. And then I said, where did you get money from? Because she didn't bring anything from what I knew. And then she just pointed to her pocket and kept eating her sucker. And then I said, okay, well, it's not very fair that you get a sucker and nobody else does. So I reached into my pocket and I took out some money, right? I had some money in my pocket and I gave her $3. And I said, why don't you go buy 6 more suckers? Because she said they were 50 cents. Then she came back and had the 6 suckers, and then I told my other daughter, the 4-year-old, no, she's 5 now. She's 5. She had a birthday. So I told her and my son, who's 9, I gave them $1 and said, hey, can you go buy 2 more suckers from the concession stand? And so they went, and then that's when the truth had to come out. Double truth, because she lied. That 11-year-old, she lied. So turns out the suckers were not 50 cents. They were a whole $1. And then I was confused and I said, wait, what? Why did you tell me they were 50 cents? And then she was like, well, I didn't think you'd like me to buy it if it was for a whole $1, but it would be okay if it was 50 cents. And then I said, yeah, I probably wouldn't have wanted to buy 6 more if I knew they were $6. And then I said, so where did you get the money from? And then I said, did you take it from the glove box? And then she nodded. And it was a sad moment. It was a very sad moment. So then I said, oh, that's really bad that you stole money from your mommy and daddy. And then I took her sucker away because she didn't deserve it. And she felt like really bad. She felt horrible. And it deserves her right? Serves her right. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how to talk. Don't listen to me. So then all the other kids got suckers. There were a couple other kids sitting with us, so I gave them suckers. And then she felt terrible about what she had done. And then I told her the story about when I was a little girl, because I stole. And it was a horrible experience, and I'll never forget it. I was about 5 years old. I was in a grocery store with my mother and my brothers. I had 2 brothers. And we were in the checkout line, and there were ring pops, and I loved ring pops so much. But my mother wouldn't buy them for me. So you can imagine, because I already gave away the ending of the story, but I stole one, partly because it was my brother's fault, right? I'm going to point the finger. It was his fault for telling me, just put it in your pocket. And then I was like, okay, so I did. And then my other brother, who was 5 years older, the other one was only 3 years older, and the one who was 5 years older, he was like, no, don't do that, that's bad. But I did. And then we got out to the van, to our car. We only had a car. And then my big brother, he told on me, and he was like, Mom, Liz took candy from the grocery store. And then she looked at me and she said, did you do that? And then I was like, mm-hmm. And I showed her my sucker, or my ring pop. Man, I'm not talking well. Anyway. So then she made me go back in the store, and I had to give it back. And it was horrible. It was the worst. Because the lady behind the counter, it was at a Kmart. Are there still Kmarts around where you are? Well, not here. They're all closed down. I think they're all closed down across the whole United States. Pretty sure it went out of business. It's an old company, right? Anyway, she took me in there, and the lady behind the counter, she laid it on heavy for me. She was like, oh no, little girl, that's bad. Did you know that when little boys and girls get bigger and they steal stuff, they can go to jail? And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I never stole again that I can remember. I might have stolen a pencil from somebody on the ground or something, but I don't like stealing. And I might have stolen some time or something from an employer. I don't know. It's a weird topic, but anyway. So that's what I told her, and I don't think it helped very much. So then I had to tell her Daddy tonight clearly before I went to bed. I'm in bed now. And so it was a sad thing. But the other bad thing that happened today was that the 16-year-old, we have a rule right now. I don't know if we'll have it forever, but right now, you're not allowed to bring your phone to school because it's not really necessary. You can use the office phone if you need to use a phone. So we don't think it's necessary to take your phone to school. And this morning, I checked to see if he had his phone plugged in where he normally has it, and it wasn't there. And then I was like, oh no. So when I got to the volleyball game this afternoon after school, I saw that his phone was in his pocket. It's pretty noticeable. It's a big rectangle, right? So then I had to be a mom and confront him, because that's what a good mother does. She confronts her children when they're doing bad stuff. And well, he lied to me. It was terrible. So I said, I see your phone's in your pocket. And then his little mind went into hyperdrive to come up with a legitimate reason for why it would be in there. And he told me, I didn't know my phone was in my pants pocket. These are the pants that I wore yesterday. And I totally bought it. Can you believe that? I totally bought that lie for about 4 hours. And then when I was thinking about it later, I was like, there's no way that his phone was in his pocket. He's always on that thing all night. So then I was like, man, now I have to confront him about lying. because he told me that he accidentally brought it to school. And so then I had to confront him before I went to bed, right? Gotta do this stuff before nighttime. And so I said, were you not on your phone last night? How was it in your pocket all night? And then the truth came out. And that was fine. And everything was handled pretty well, I feel like. I didn't yell or anything. I was being good. And I didn't... I don't know. I just didn't get overly hurt by it. But later on, I was more hurt by it. And I realized, man, I totally bought that lie. And I just am frustrated that he lied to me about the phone, right? Because if he disagrees with our rule, then he should persuade us as to why it shouldn't be a rule. That's my opinion on the matter, at least right now. And it's got to be a really good persuasive speech. It'd be good for him to practice. But, yeah, so then I told him later. He actually said he was downstairs and he was coughing and then he threw up. He's been sick for like a week. Not sick, but just coughing for like a week. And I wonder when he's going to get better, but hopefully in the next week or two. Otherwise, we'll have to go see a doctor. But he threw up, I guess, from coughing too hard. And then he came upstairs at like 9 o'clock at night, and I decided I was going to make some chicken quesadillas right then for those who were hungry. And then I decided to say, so do you want to tell Dad about the phone thing, or do you want me to do it? And I realized I was not clear in my statement, because I think he is only thinking about the whole persuasive argument type of side of it. But I think he missed that. He really needs to tell him that he snuck his phone to school on purpose. Because that's what happened. And I think it happened earlier this week too, or maybe last week. This is Monday. It didn't happen earlier this week. But yeah, so that's what happened today. In a nutshell. Yeah. Well, tomorrow is a new day, and I hope it is a great day, and I hope that you get some sleep and that you have a great day. Alright, well, good night. I guess I should go to bed now. Should you go to bed? It's getting that time. I hope you're actually asleep right now, because then you wouldn't have listened to all of my rambling about the whole crazy day, you know? It wasn't that crazy. Kind of crazy, but not really. But maybe it might have been crazy. Okay. Well, good night.